don't know if you want to go live on Instagram too. You could just do live on Instagram. Go live on Instagram. Yes. It's okay with me. You in a battle today, man?
Yes, I.
Yeah, give thanks.
In like historical battle.
But you look camouflaged.
Oh. Yeah, I like these tones, man. They have really nice
Okay,
tones are really nice tones.
Earth.
Earth, you know, yeah. Really nice tones. Myself.
All right, honorables, please stand by. We're coming live in about 1 minute. Yeah, so we'll see Black and then the promo. Stand by, blessed.
Choice. Never like them as long ago. Take a job with us. Those of you on Instagram, definitely you'll have to join us on YouTube to get our full program, as we have brother Chronixx with us right now. So go to our YouTube link, which is Honorable Priest. That's what we see to get the live broadcast. To get the brethren together with me. Where the fire stick. You know, them have wooden things there, right? That thing that heroes used to do, you know. Yes, definitely we do give thanks for life and a mighty life giver, and we give thanks for all good things around us are sent from Zion above. So we praise Rastafari for his divine love. Definitely we do give thanks as we are live here with you on the Food of Seven, basically where we don't only speak of just the physical food, but we also speak of the spiritual food. And definitely as we are streaming live on our YouTube channel, and also we are streaming live on our Instagram channel. So the people who are watching us on Instagram, I mean, definitely will be interviewing our honorable brother Chronixx, you know, Honorable Prophet Jama. We'll be interviewing him today, and so for those of you on Instagram, we just posted the YouTube link there from Honorable Goddess Ethiopia, so you just click on that, so you could just go straight into the whole realms of the link. So you could just see when both I and I are actually speaking, or else you won't be on Instagram. You won't really be getting that fullness of the program. So definitely we just give thanks again for all those people who are here. And even before we delve into it, we just want to know that first and foremost, you know, we give thanks for life and the mighty life giver, as it is very important that, you know, in the times that we are in right now, when we retrospect in ancient time, it is important that we understand that whatever it is that the world is doing right now when it comes to science and technology. Okay, you say you have cannabis, so you have right now you have medical cannabis, so you have plenty of people who now are advocating for marijuana. Plenty of people just you know, marijuana is decriminalized or it's legalized. You know, the Rastafari was the man that was actually advocating for that years upon years upon years. And the Rastaman is the man that lost his life for that. And then again, we go into the whole realms of reparation right now. CARICOM has actually taken up the whole cause of reparation and repatriation. And Rastafari was the one in the forefront again that was actually preaching and teaching the whole aspect of reparation and repatriation. That is all 50 years ago. And then we talk about the dreadlocks. The dreadlocks. I mean, that was basically a style adopted by the Rastafari, and they were persecuted, killed. The head chopped with cutlass. And plenty different atrocities were perpetrated to the Rastafari just because of that hair. Now today, dreadlocks is a style. So definitely it is very important that we understand that the culture of the Rastafari, from the herbal medicine, the herbs and all the different types of medicines that we were actually talking about, the herbs that we were dealing with when it comes to the whole healing aspect. The Rastaman is a man that actually definitely he just stuck on the whole realms of just dealing with the herbs. So today we are in a season where we have lots of what we call coronavirus. We have dengue fever, we have diabetes, we have high blood pressure, we have prostate cancer, we have breast cancer, and even today, right now, we have plenty of diseases that are actually just destroying our people. Yes, the coronavirus has taken the center stage, meaning that you don't really hear people talking about cancer and diabetes like that again. But at the end of the day, you still have people who are dying from these things that daily. I mean, even here in St. Lucia, more people have died from dengue fever than people have died from coronavirus. I think the 2 deaths, and both of these people were people who were extremely sick. That were people who were like on the dying beds, literally, right? And these people, they actually succumbed to the disease. So I think that even in that respect, when you have so many of our brothers and sisters perishing, dying because of even diabetes, high blood pressure, the common cold, and all different types of conditions, cancer, and yet still there is no quarantine on junk food and no quarantine on alcohol and no quarantine on cigarettes for the COPD, yet still, people are getting quarantined for a disease that is not really actually killing anybody, right? And even when we go into the science of it, even the PCR test, which is the polymerase chain reaction test, which is a test that's supposed to actually, as the person who actually created the test himself said, that the test is not really a diagnostic test, because what it does, after 35 cycles, a polymerase chain reaction test is basically a test whereby what they're doing, they are literally augmenting the quantity of a particular RNA molecule or genome or DNA segment through continuous exponential replication. So by the time that they have 35 cycles, the person who might have not been COVID-19 infected might appear to be COVID-19 infected. This article that was just released on RT, that is Russia television. And then, basically it states that the PCR test is up to 97% false positives, and only 3% is basically viable. To the extent that even I think I don't even remember the country anyway, but it's on my Instagram page, whereby these tourists sue the government for falsely, having them under quarantine, and they won the case based upon the fact that the PCR test wasn't scientifically sound when it comes to the whole aspect of diagnosis. So in the Caribbean, there are plenty of things that we need to look at. And we know that we are having what we call the mRNA vaccine, the mRNA vaccine, the first of its kind, except for the Ebola that was actually tried. But at the end of it, that's the first mass vaccination that's going to take place with an mRNA vaccine, whereby our cells going to become the factories used to actually produce the proteins that the virus really supposed to be producing to elicit what we call an immune reaction, right? To get the antibodies and to actually get your immune system to build up memory cells for that specific condition. So it is very important that we have that broad understanding. This evening, what we're going to be doing, we're going to go into the realms of how is it that the Rastafari livity, that as we have been living it over the years, how is it that the Rastafari livity is going to actually help us to circumvent, to bypass, right? To prevent ourselves from getting into that whole vaccination thing. How is it that we're going to save ourselves? You know, everybody is following the Rasta man. So right now, what is it that they're going to be following today when it comes to the whole aspect of Corona as we are in the Corona? So this evening, we have a beloved brethren here with us. He's one of the young brethren in the I would say the edutainment industry. I wouldn't really use music entertainment. He really educates through his books, you know, and he's one of the brothers who have actually kept that level of sincerity and kept that level of truth and kept that level of integrity when it comes to as a young Rastafari brethren actually coming through, and as a man who has, you know, superstar status when it comes to the realms of reggae music and him as an artist. You know, I give thanks for such voices that are crying out in the wilderness to the extent whereby our people could get that kind of a, you know, food for the soul and food for the spirit and food for the God self, that they could actually reflect upon such wonderful words. So our brother is here with us, Honorable Prophet Jama. I call him that, but I'm in the world know him as Chronixx. You know, give thanks, Honorable, for being with us this evening. Blessed love.
Blessed love, honorable
Yeah,
Rastafari.
give thanks. Well, I mean, you know that you are live in St. Lucia. Not live, I mean, recently you were on stage in St. Lucia, and I mean, the people waited for you, I think, until 2 o'clock. That's when you actually came out. My brethren are going to say, yeah, and the man came out 2 o'clock, but I waited, and, you know, and it was worth the wait, you know. So you were here recently. You were here with the people in of St. Lucia live, because that's a national television program, and also we are streaming live on our YouTube, and also we have some people here who's watching us on our Instagram, but they're not really seeing you on the Instagram part. So give the people some love in St. Lucia and just bless them up.
Love to the whole St. Lucia. Love to the whole St. Lucia massive. You don't know. More love and love and love. In the end, it's just one love, you know. But it feels so much, you know. Give thanks.
Give thanks, man. I mean, we'll just jump right into it, because I mean, it is precious moments, how they linger, you know. So it's a precious moment. So we'll just go into it. I mean, knowing that I have reason to plenty of different brethren who are out there in the world and they are performing, you know, my first question to the eye would be, what is it that actually grounds the eye when it comes to maintaining that principle and that uprightness to actually be able to carry a message of love and truth to the people?
Well, it have a lot to do with family, you know, and the people who are supposed to help to usher you into life and into the world, you know, like, you know, your elders and, you know, the strong people and like that's generally the elders and the strong people of your community, you know. Those are some of the main pillars that will hold up any youth in these times, you know. And another thing is just the Almighty, you know, Jah Rastafari, you know, Emperor Haile Selassie first, Empress Midnite, you know, the consciousness of Marcus Garvey, you know, and just the cause of which we are here, you know. When you get that level of guidance from the elders, you know, along with the consciousness of certain ones who forward in time before us, you know, was same people and from our same consciousness, you find that you develop a sense of the cause for which you are here in time right now, you know? So I feel like those are some of the things that, you know, help you grasp that whole thing, you know?
Well, give thanks. I mean, definitely. I mean, you and your generation of singers. You know, they have I would say, I'd call it like a group of the Iron them who came in at a particular timing that was very important when it comes to the whole aspect of that message that was actually being brought forward to the people when it comes to the whole realms of that purity of message. As you know that a lot of the youths out there were actually just going out into some different types of levels, and you have sisters like Jan 9 and all the different empresses who actually came with very positive message to the young sisters. And that the Kabaka Pyramid and all these other brethren have brethren who actually brought a sense of fresh air to the whole entertainment industry to make it more educational to the fact that the lyrics that the INM actually push forward is more like uplifting vibes to actually help people reach a sense of consciousness. What is the I's ultimate objective when it comes to the realms of what is it that you want to see? Why is it that you do what you do? Why don't you just sing about the Hennessy and the wine, and you understand, and have them type of things? So what motivates the I?
Well, I feel like in every human being, there are certain powers that move people, you know, and that certain powers that drive you, and you know, I feel like every human being. What I was learning today is that like every human being, if you check a human being, we have enough like energies that you could compare to animals, you know. So you find that if you put all the animals together in the world, all the animals of creation together, you'd get a human being. Same way like how if you put all the human beings in the world together and all their attributes, you get the Almighty, you know. And within all of us as human beings, there is the reverse is also the same, where there's the Almighty in all of us, you know. And but we, as you know, we have free will, you know. So you can choose, you can surrender to that force and to that natural force and that natural, not even to use the word force, but just that natural energy flow, you know, or you can choose as well to, you know, so it's a choice, I feel like, for a lot of us, you know. Some a conscious choice and some just a choice, you know. And it's a struggle, I would say, to be in the world and to be rejecting so much of the world, you know, for our youth. To consciously, not reject, but to consciously cast out a lot of what the world would have successfully, you know, installed within your consciousness as a youth growing up, you know. So it's through them type of lifestyle and them type of realization where you know that, yo, you get to realize what your talent is. And when you match that with the cause for which you are here in time, with that now you can derive a sense of what to use your talents for, you know. And to, you know, so I feel like the type of lyrics and the music that forward from I and a lot of youths in my generation is youth just consciously answering a call from consciousness itself. Say, yo, hey youths, here's something you could say, here's something you could invent, here's something you could build, here's something you could dedicate your life energy towards. Some youth will answer the call, and some youth will, through their high powers of free will decide that, yo, I'm gonna use my highest natural power to decline this call. Because only the highest It's only a very high power could decline such a call at the same time. So so for us, it's not like we're any less powerful than the man who don't answer, you know, but we are using our powers to blend with the natural and not to decline it, you know, which make it even more powerful because you have such a high power and now you merge your high power with the highest power, you know, and that's the reason why we can do music independently for so long and sustain doing music without being, let's say, funded or owned by the bigger music industry or entertainment industry, you know, because when you're doing what you're supposed to do, then there are a lot of powers that help you to do it, you know, because they didn't choose you to do it because they don't want to help you, you know. They choose you to do it because they're ready to help you, you know. So you find that these are some of the things that, you know, a lot of youth, most youth know these things, man, intuitively. But as I said, you know, when I was in school, I had friends who throughout with different stages at being teenagers and children, you know, there were many times when we had to decide, yo, and some youth would have to say, yo, I'm not doing that. You alone are going to do that, but I'm not coming, you know. There was just always these little moments in your life when you make a move and other people decide to make a different move, you know. So that happened on a global, epic human scale as well, where in every time in life, you find that there are certain times when humanity as a whole have to make a decision, you know. And we are, you know what I mean, without a doubt, we're in one of those times where people just have to decide upon them lifestyle more than every other thing. That's the decision that we're making. And it sounds simple in words, but the way how we live as a species, the way we flex as living natural beings, it's a big deal. It's a big deal because that is what the world is made up of, how humans live. So when it's a question of world dominance, it's a question of how humans live. So that's what the whole struggle is about. People, some forces would want to control the way how all humans live, while you have some forces who want the human to decide for themselves, each and every individual human to decide how they want to live. So it's two different set of force, you know. But the force that want all human to live in one way and answer to a fellow human power is a force that really want to drive out the human soul from out of the earth itself, where to how the cosmos designed, that force can never win. It is just there to create a balance and some sort of relativity so that we ourselves as human beings can have a sense of a limited and definite experience, because that's what human life is about. Understanding the limited within the limitlessness, you know? And so all of them forces were trying to have humanity under a certain type of bondage is not like they're operating out of wanting to succeed because they can never succeed. They're just really there because they are retarded energies, so they are just there to retard us. As we are, it's like how in a car you still put a brakes in a car, you know what I mean? It's not because you want the car to not move, but you want to have your brakes. So, because that's going to help you to use free will now to govern your excellence and how you excel. So you're not just excelling out of intuition, but you're also excelling scientifically. You know, so that's one of the struggles. Humans, we want to excel, but we don't just want to excel because God helped us to excel, but we want to excel on our own, just like a little baby, like we want. And that's what science is humans' effort, is the human effort to understand things. You know, when the Bible says lean out to your own understanding, science is us literally saying, yo, I want to lean on my own understanding. if even for this one instance, which is science. So is not, science don't really disregard what just said, discard it, so it can discover it, rediscover it in a more artificial way, I would say. You know what I mean?
Research, as you say, research.
Yeah, research for something you
Yeah,
already, you know what I mean?
research already.
You already know. So you find these things revealed to us as youths through reasoning with the elders first and foremost. Because you don't know them is the living books and the living scrolls, you know, amongst us where can give us a sense of truth. So you don't just see the signs, but you hear them with a substantial warmth coming from a next being. And so that is one of the things why I can never put elders and books in the same category unless you're going to say the elder himself is a living book.
Well, I mean, the man is the first everything, you know. The man is the first excavator. The man is the first plane. The man is the first everything. The man is the first book.
Yes,
Yeah, man. The man definitely, you know, is the first book. I mean, we give thanks for that knowledge there of that level of freedom, you know. And I would say within my own journey, my journey as a man, I never really considered like myself as having a choice, like the creator. But I know the emperor now. He had a net. You have a quote that say, "Don't you know Jah have a net to trap all the high and the low?" Huh? Yeah. So the man just trapped me and tell me, well, I have to do his work and that is it. You understand? And then everything does have to just fall in place to make it happen. So them powers there is like in my evolution, in my realms, you know, they have certain barriers like we just had to just go through and just have to break it. So you have to go through and break it in that field. And my field is as you say, science. And even I remember like in Cuba, when I was in medical school in Cuba, the Empress is there in the other side there listening. And I remember we're in the same class when it comes to philosophia, you know, and then they say, well, in philosophy, you know, is Lenista and Marx and Marx is Karl Marx and Lenin. That's what they
yeah,
teach. So there's no theory of God. So God don't really exist for the people. So I remember once they gave me a tres, like free. So it's 5 is pass, free is pass too, but free is like a belly pass because I refuse to say that they don't have a God. So I told her the professor. I told her, well, I mean, they say that they only could deal with tangible things that they could weigh and feel. So I tell them, give me a handful of love. Well, give me a handful of happiness then. Give me a handful of anger. Give me a handful of all these things that are emotions. You cannot weigh them, but yet still you feel them. Right? So the presence of the God being, and as a scientist, you know, we had to go through them realms there as a Rastafari too, because it's just about being grounded in the principle of just knowing that you're just not going to bow. For me personally, I remember I was in Ciencias Medicas in Cienfuegos, and they say I have to take off my turban. You know, so I tell them, well, why should I take off my turban when if I'm going into surgery, I have to cover my hair? Right? So what was the point? So everybody should be wearing a turban. Then they left me alone. So the system is designed to actually bring the best out of you. I would say it just basically is what makes the gold and what makes the carbon compacted into diamond. You know, knowing that we are in that time that we are in right now, where we look at the vibes when it comes to wellness. You know, as Rastafari, my core principle as a man who went through medical school and then still do the herbs and things. My core principle is just educating people scientifically, but the science is still the Rastafari livity, right? So how I live is Rastafari, but I mean, I have discovered from all type of realms when I studied that the Rastafari livity is a highly, highly, highly scientific livity. So what I would just like to share with us is like we know that Rastafari is Ital, And well, you have ital, you have vegan, and you have vegetarian, and you have alkaline, you have all these different type of vibes there. But the Rasta man now is the man in St. Lucia. They used to say, boy, you live far from the kitchen. Want eat some meat, you're weak, and there's a bit, there's a bit you do it as Rasta man, there's a bit you do it meat. Nowadays, everybody is even more plant-based than the Rasta man. Can you give us a breakdown of, in the eye perspective, what is really the italivity, and how would the eye go about then feasting to just keep your structure strong enough so you could jump on the stage and sing whole heap of songs and hours and you still standing strong?
Well, first and foremost, as you don't know, we stand firm and strong through the powers of the Almighty, who make sure the sun shine and raise you up every day, and give us a reason to be upright, and so one of the things I want to say is that I experience a global consciousness shift that a lot of people don't document because they don't want it to make it look like it happened. What actually happened instead was a lot of even Rastafari people in Jamaica denied the fact that the shift was happening, because of course, watching personality and all of these things. But if we put the personalities aside and just look at the truth and what happened around, I would say like 2010 leading up to now, the second half of the 2000s, it's a massive consciousness shift, because I remember the first time traveling through Europe in 2013 and 14. We had to fasting. Like, fasting was the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what tour life was for me. Like, because, I from I left high school, I decided that, I was going to take a more vegetarian approach to life, given certain experiences that I was going through prior to like leaving high school. And then starting to live with my Empress now, we take even a more thing now that we are youth to get to be on our own. We say, now that we're on our own, how we are going to live. And we always made the choice to, like, as far as food and everything concerned, for live. I live according to the highest consciousness that's available to you, in any given time. So when I started traveling in 2013, the first time I ever went on a plane, it was myself, Protege, Kabaka Pyramid, Janine, Raging Fire, Indignation. Who else was there? I don't want to miss out anyone. There was a lot of us going to Costa Rica to do a show with Midnite and Sarah Lugo. So when we reached there, we meet up with Von Benjamin, and it was just like, most of us at the time was plant-based as well. And that was just a thing, like, we had to go as a group to every restaurant and, like, make sure them cook everything different and, like, you know what I mean? And so I went from living that, and going to Europe, and there's like no plant-based anything. Like, if you're going to a restaurant and you tell someone that, I'm plant-based, they always say, all right, we have salad. So they're always, salad is just the only thing you could eat. So for us, it was salad, nuts, juice, because you could always find juice, So salad, nuts, juice for the majority of it, and then Indian food for the rest. That was vegan culture in 2013, 14. Then 15 now, you start to see a little creeping up. By the time we reach 2018, my brethren, honorable, I'm telling you, in every corner of the world I go. I see people living more natural, even how them eat. And it's not just the food, it's even the things people use on them body. things, everything, man, the type of music that people want to listen to, it's not getting any worse, you know. People actually realize there was a thing called the loudness war in music that sweep the CD era and sweep the digital era even worse, where all the music was getting so loud in the world. Most people don't realize, no one really talk about it as a phenomenon. But there was a time when certain artists in America decided that they wanted to make their music quieter, which is going against industry standard. Because the people that set standards in the music industry are the people who own the copyright for radio, the people who own the copyright for CD technology. They actually own the intelligence that are the research and development that create the actual platforms that we consume music through, which is the compact disc, the MP3 format. All these things are invention of people. They are the ones who determine, all right, in this coming 10 years, this is how music is going to be consumed. It's not like someone wake up one day and say, yo, and the CD spread like how bad news would spread. These are industrial decisions that we are going to no longer have iTunes, we're only going to have streaming. So these are board meeting decisions. So these are the people who control how loud the music should be as well, and all these things, and the frequency of it. So even when your song come out of your studio and you submit it to them for them to upload on their thing, they still go and tweak the volume and the texture and the finer aspects of the finished master. And they call it the master. It's a master file, right? And all these things we see happening in the music thing, but there was a time when certain artists decide say we're going to reverse back the volume of the music more towards a place where the sweet spot. Because you know, in every progress of humanity, sometimes throughout we progress we find a nice thing, but we still progress past it, you know. So if you look within yourself again, we can find a sense of balance to that place where we did actually find a balance before we ego tell us to still continue, you know. So some youth, you have some rappers like J. Cole. If you look at them man, they know all them man they grow them precepts, all them man they have dreadlocks, all them man they deal with Jay-Z, all these from young to old, man. You look at those rappers and these artists before 2013. And then you look at them after 2013. It's a different artist, different texture, different everything. So there's a whole consciousness that sweeps every artist on the planet. And as I said, some answer to it, some don't, you know? So when you see a youth answer to it, it takes enough courage as well. Just like how it takes a supreme power to say no to these things. Because you have people who say no to them sexuality. There's like, all right, this is what the natural sexuality is. All right, I say no to the natural sexuality and yes to a different thing. And that take a very, you know, I sometimes I find it difficult to think of what it really takes to say that. You know what I mean? But equally, or some will argue even more courage is needed in these times to walk according to, you know, within the deepest depths of yourself that you should, you know what I mean? Very little people have the faith and the courage that it takes to accept the truth, even the parts of it that is not so comfortable. You know what I mean? Because if you can learn to embrace something that belongs to truth, simply because it belongs to truth and not because it feels good sensationally. Because, you know, in the sensory world, things have sometimes the opposite impression of what it actually is in the super sensory realms, where sense does not exist. You know, by the time it's sense, you know, it's like when a baby is born. Type of sensation they feel when a baby is born. You know, a woman will tell. You know what I mean? It don't match the fact that it's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's like a contradictory in the sensation and what it actually is.
Very painful.
Yes, man. So you find say, but accepting it as a part of the truth, and you know, say this pain, as difficult as it is to live through, it belongs to truth.
Give
It is
thanks.
real. It is a gift from the realm of truth. So even though in the sensory realms it causes a level of difficulty or challenge, you know, it still belongs to truth. And but it's not like that in this time. Like human beings, our fellow brothers and sisters within humanity, which we can't separate ourselves from enough to say that we are not a part of their inability to accept these things, because we are a part of it. You know, maybe if we were able enough, we would be able to teach more people, or you know, or maybe in time more people will develop the courage. But I feel like from my experience right now in the earth, I don't have enough evidence that humanity as a whole have the full courage where it take to accept certain things as truth. You know,
Well, I mean,
we
what we need is
getting
probably a hurricane or an earthquake, or they say and in calamity. You see, when you're back in Saint Lucia, we'll be taking an intercession. Normally on the 7:30, it's past that time. We'll take an intercession shortly, and then we would just come down into more like human eat and drink thing. Yeah, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's when people they say, when you're back against the wall, you see right now our backs in the wall, I'm in St. Lucia, there's people that not speaking for years. And when a hurricane passed and lick down everything, everybody have to carry their basin and go to the river together.
yeah.
You understand? And you see people just start to help one another, and then you never guess to say that them people are not talking, So as you say, through the whole aspect of tribulation, definitely it does actually, you see, out of the ashes, the phoenix bird does rise. So we'll take an intercession when we come again. We'll just open up the lines in St. Lucia for if anyone has any particular questions. I think that we'll try to figure out how to actually get the eye to hate on your side. And then we just want to know what does the honorable himself have for breakfast, what he would have for a lunch, what he'd have for a dinner, them kind of thing. That's so. And sometimes people just look at you and believe like you don't eat, boy, that. Some people just look at you like you don't eat, or you don't have pain, or you have a toothache, And people say, boy, if somebody here I cough, once someone heard me cough, right? They heard me cough on a program. I say, boy, priest, boy, you just cough, and I say, So give thanks. So when we come again, honorable, let's just go into the human aspect of the eye, right? Just to know, give the people a little fullness of what it takes, to be honorable. Chronixx. Give thanks. When you come again, we'll continue. Blessed.
Yes.
Yes, we're an intercession. I'm going to spin this and put it on that here for you.
A Wishmaker loan is back and available now. Members of the Janu Credit Union can get up to $25,000. It's easy to qualify and repayments are very reasonable. Already have a Wishmaker loan? Then you may top up to the original balance twice until 21st December 2020. Visit Janu Credit Union or email apply at cscreditunion.org and let the magic happen. Janu, together we can move mountains. We make wishes come true. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, my name is Sidil, and you may know some of my hits like this one.
Don't play with man. Man pull up like 10 bad man.
Our music inspires and entertains. It powers festivals and is an integral part of our history and culture. Creating good music takes hours of thought, writing, arranging, recording, and production. When people or businesses who use our music publicly or for commercial gain get a music license, they're not just keeping the law. They're also supporting music creators, producers, musicians, singers, sound engineers, and many others in the music industry. Keep the great music coming. Get a music license for your business place or event. Support music rights.
For more information, visit echorights.com. This
Yeah,
message
share
is
it on IG or
and this Echo license
on
station. Echo, protecting music rights.
half of it. No?
Sel bagay driver, pa do bout bay no sala Yo ka pon vie bagay COVID sa, sota l'hopital la ko yo katay, ek yo ka mene yo komin la ba moun.
Them people not supposed to be boarding Simbassy first. You never know what they have.
If darkness board the bus, I going down.
Madam, think before you speak. These are the same people who take care of us. All of us. They have their own families to go back to. And still, they put themselves on the front line for us. And you want to discriminate against them? Not on my bus. Had just cadre. You making me finish all my good English on you.
Good morning.
My lady, thank you so much for all the sacrifices you all make. Together, we must win this war.
Together we can beat this corona.
Let's say give thanks we are alive again. Definitely we give thanks for life and a mighty life given. We give thanks for this wonderful opportunity, and we give thanks, Honorable, that you could have taken time out of your busy schedule. I know that is a busy man, and you know, and I have taken the whole digital world by storm too. I think you have 2 or 3 digital concerts already, like, you know, them kind of live vibes there, high color vibration and them things there, you know. Give thanks for that creativity. Well, so what we wanted just to ask the eyes about, you know, because I just always be talking to people about eating healthy and all them different type of things there. So I know you have a song there, and Daddy I talk the spirulina, and then your lemon grass and all them sour soup and all them different things that I kicking in that tune them. You know, I just discover all them things there as I go by, right? Because more times I just discover most of your tunes and things as I go by, right? Yeah. The Empress would know most of, I mean, almost everything. I mean, she introduced me to the eye really, you know. So she was hard on the vibe and the youths. Well, the youths just sing along everything, you know. So tell us about the eye when it comes to your EATS, you know, like for breakfast when you get up in the morning, what would happen? I mean, what would you think, or would you just fast? I mean, I know when you travel and you say you fast, but when you have a woman thing, what happens?
It's slow, you know. Not so fast.
You slow.
We try. I think recently my most constant eating pattern as our drinking pattern is like juices. So that's the most constant thing in our eat recently. You know, everything else fluctuates more, you know, like, so some days, so most days I start out with training in the morning. So, you know, before training, you have to, you know, be very careful about how you eat before training. So I would have like a smoothie. So with these now, I would use like a coconut water and some of the things that are always in it is like the moringa leaf. You know, we have chia seeds, hemp seeds. Them type of things is like always in it. You know, so them type of thing we start the morning off with. you know. And then maybe like closer to noon now, we have like a after you train and all them things and fast for a little bit more. Yeah, you know, you have a nice meal. Like for me, my meals are like all different type of meals. Like some days that meal is like a live meal. So I would have like there's this place in Jamaica like their live food. So they would prepare like some live meals for me, like for them time of the day. And you know, all different type of live meals, man. Yo, man, the way I eat, very interesting, man. Man, trust me, man. Like if there was a restaurant that sell the things that I eat, you'd have a long line at that restaurant every day. I'm telling you, you know. Yeah, man. Because you know, like that's one of the things I full joy about life, you know.
Food.
Yes, full joy, man. Because for me, I don't have it a lot so much that I lose the joy of wanting it or the joy of having it. You know, that never dies out because I fast a lot. You know what I mean? So food becomes a very special occasion for me all the time. So every meal is approached with a very a special love, you know what I mean? Like every single meal. You know?
Give thanks.
Yeah, man. So we have nice
Thanks.
cooked, nice raw recipes, you know. But in the morning time for me, the nicest thing for me in the mornings, I would say, smoothie. You know what I mean? With some raw nuts and coconut cream and coconut water, you know, or even just coconut water first and then a smoothie right after. You know what I mean? That's how I would like for start every single day. That's a perfect, you know, way to.
So no like herbal teas like in the morning.
Fine, I've been drinking teas in the night. I've been drinking teas in the noon. You know, it's very, very bitter teas, you know what I mean? Like the more papaya leaf teas, kalawala tea. Those are the teas I've been drinking. But normally I would just have ginger and mint. And tea I drink more in the night times and in the noon times. You know, afternoon time or night time. But I don't get the feeling for tea in the morning, you know, but maybe I should, maybe, you know.
Well, I see one of your songs you say give me a bottle of spirulina, Medina, sour sop for the nerves and what's sapata? What's sapata?
You know, sapota.
Sapota, okay, all right.
Sapota. You know, it is that. But they also refer to the sour sap juice as that sometime, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you all be using like Medina for, like in Jamaica?
You know, just for tea. I missed a lot of the purposes, but like, you know, growing up, my grandmother used to make a lot of those teas for us. Like every now and again, she would just make them and line us up and like give us, you know, all the youth. Then we have to drink them teas for like maybe like a week. Every now and again, every day, you have to have them type of teas. So, you know, Cersei, one of them, leaf of life and garlic was the next popular thing that she used to come with all the times. And there is also the Medina bush, because she was the one who knew where to walk and to go find it. You know what I mean? Because she would never use the one on the roadside where all the animals, you know, she liked the one where like only cow and them people go, you know, but she not like the dog, none of the dog herbs them and none of them. She like the more cow herbs them and the bird herbs them. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
The Medina is an aphrodisiac, you know. The Medina is like one of the potent aphrodisiacs that they say they give man strong back, you know. So it's a herb that is very good for the male reproductive system. Like you have the Damiana. I think that in Jamaica they call it Damiana. I think it's rum goat dash along, something like that. Yeah. So that there is
roots. Them thing how we use make roots.
Roots, yeah.
You know, like the roots. Yeah, them and all roots.
Yeah. Give thanks. So what would be the benefits of fasting for the eye? What benefits would you say you have in like fasting? Like fasting. Why because you say, well, you fast. Well, I just fast. Like for the past couple of times they're like, okay, normally as a Bobo Shanti, right? We're supposed to fast like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Saturday, right? Which is basically like the Bobo Shanti really supposed to live like a fasting life. When I travel, because of my work, I don't have the privilege to be able to allow anybody to cook for me because I just go against the mafias, the big kind of people there. So, so I have to be like extra vigilant. So I have never really eaten out in a restaurant, like go out in a restaurant and eat. I doesn't do that. Like more time when I travel.
My life sometime for a long time. It was, but I'm very careful about my restaurants, man.
Yeah.
I know the people. Like my restaurants, I actually know my people. Like we have a network, like a very solid network. So like I have this restaurant, for instance, in Amsterdam. That is really nice. It's some Rastafari people. Cause there's a lot of Rastafari food around the world too. Where it saved me a lot. Before we could carry a chef on the road and all that things. So,
Well, like for me, it's just that I used to just fast. And when I get any country I get into, I just wanted to just have an accommodation whereby I have my stove and my things. And first thing I do, I just drive into a supermarket or whatever it is and go and buy my things and prepare my things just because I remember once I don't even really eat that much. So certain foods I would abstain from them. Even I remember certain like salad greens. If I don't really have some real limes and sour orange to wash out them things. I remember once in I think that was in the UK, and I did some salad greens and thing, and man, if I didn't know what to do, then I would have been in trouble. I must have been some E. coli or something, you understand? So because other people don't understand, even when they say, well, you have an E. coli outbreak, the only place you find E. coli is in feces. You understand? So then, normally when you have E. coli outbreak, that means that the lettuce or whatever that they're selling have human feces on it.
Manure.
Manure. So, well, even in these countries, because they just use so much of the sewer water, because it has used the sewer water, there's actually reuse the sewer water. All right. So in these countries now, these things they are even more terrible, So for me, like even if I am like I like having my raw things and my greens and my things, most times when I travel, I stay far from them type of things. So just because I don't have that kind of a comfort to know well, and from my own personal experience with it, man, I say, boy, that never happened to me in my life, and that was the first time. From that time, I don't think I ever buy a lettuce in any country. Let's wait until I come to St. Lucia, to get my fresh vibes. So, tell us about like the challenges that you might have when it comes to as a Rastafari, in coronavirus time. So what would the I do now, to boost up your immune system? What are you going to do? Are you going to take the vaccine? What's going to happen? How do you boost up your immune system?
So many times, man. I've been vaccinated like so many times in my life. Outrageous. So for me, it's like the last vaccine I got was like, I couldn't. I just couldn't wait no longer to go Ethiopia, you know, because that's just one of the things between me and Africa, where it's like I was always putting off some of those things because I'm like, yo, these vaccines and these things, you know. And then there was a time when I was like, yo, I need to go Ethiopia, man. Like, how can a man not go to Ethiopia, you know? As a man, you know, that's supposed to be humanity, ultimate pilgrimage. We should all go to Ethiopia at least once, man, so we can feel certain presence. So I did, I think it's a yellow fever thing that you have to take. And it made me incredibly sick for a very long time. You talk about things like joint pains for days, man. Just like crazy, man. But that's from someone who's very conscious of what's happening in their bodies, because you'll have someone who go through the whole days of having certain joint pain. But like if you have to do intense labor, like someone who like I give you for instance, like if you're a police officer, for instance, who just have to like wake up and do your job every day and like, you know what I mean, do what you need to do, and you're out there directing traffic or fighting crime, whatever you're doing. You might go through the whole week and not realize, because a lot of these things are very subtle as well. They are not like excruciating pains. You know, it's just very annoying for like someone who is very conscious of their body, and someone who dance or athlete, they are going to be more conscious of the discomforts, you know. So you find that you know, it just make you incredibly sick for a very long time. And it after taking the yellow fever vaccine, I had and you know what I mean, like as I say, you have people who are scientists who can tell you things more from a factual place, but I'm just giving you like real life experiences, you know what I mean. After taking the yellow fever vaccine, you know, a whole heap of different things happen after that too. Like, you know, Jamaica get hit with a wave of Zika, you know. I felt that, like I felt the full force of that thing, man. Like I'm telling you, whatever that is, I don't want the worst person in the earth should not catch that. You know what I mean? And the next thing called the Chick V, feel the full force of that one as well. And I'm telling you, man, it's some different thing, man. And then the next thing happened was like I had a viral infection while traveling one time, which was like a bronchitis type of thing. And I was shooting an ad for GoPro in Texas. And I had an experience I never had ever before in my life. It's like almost like your lungs cease for work for a while. Like you can't breathe, you know? And I had to go to at that time, one of my sisters was going to school in Bastyr University in Seattle. And I had to call her for her to suggest someone from her school network for me to see in Texas, so I could get some tinctures and certain things. And it was them type of tinctures as well, like, you know, and a whole heap of different vitamin C thing, a lot of licorice, a lot of what you'd call slippery elm, a lot of I was in America and had to like source all of these things, which was very easy because, as I said, throughout traveling, one of our first means of survival is to have a solid global network of conscious people who, just like how when we in St. Lucia we had that yard, it's like when we in Texas we had people yard, like when we in place like Vermont, when we in place like Oregon, when we in place like Colorado, you find yourself among some people who you can smell a certain aura coming off them, man. You know, it's just like some great people in the earth, man. That's why I love them people make me love the world, man. They say for God so loved the world, is because just see some people in the world where he must spare the whole world for them people, man. You see me? And the world have a lot of those people, man. Like if you put all of them the same places, probably millions, man. Very high vibrating people. So they say, for God so loved the world, you know. That say fine, say yo, I'm telling you, man. So I see some judgment, some scientific judgment will befall our generation of youths. I remember even in school when we were little youth and I got basic school, you'd have people from different country that just come through the school and inject all the youth them with things that our parents don't even know. You know, me and you to go through them things. So I know for a fact that these things are detrimental in many different respects, which means you have a lot of great youth who were actually born greater. You know what I mean? And whose physical brain capacity was compromised. You know what I mean? We know these things happen even and not to say that this is the intention of the great scientists that give off themselves and them time and them lifetime to develop certain technologies and to feed humanity's cause for science, which is to research, as you said. You know, you have people who do this thing out of very pure, like out of a purity, you know, of they because they have benefited from all these things that they have read from Egypt and things that they read from even Atlantis. That people is saying, yo, what if these Atlanteans never leave? What if all these things from Egypt and Atlantis was just spiritual impulses that we felt intuitively and very faint and very cloudy and not knowing for true that, yo, these are hieroglyphs. This is the pyramid, physical architecture, scientific outcomes that we can still study up till today, you know? So this is you have many scientists who do science purely out of this, wanting to keep that cause alive. Have to say, yo, this is what going to make humanity always can balance the material with the spiritual world. Balance what you have found out through your own two eyes with what you find out from your all-seeing eye within. You know what I mean? So it's two different, it's the same thing, but it's two different witness and they balance each other. You know? It's like your ego versus the Almighty yourself. You know what I mean? Trying to balance each other and one teaching the other, because the ego is the younger brother. So the ego don't know certain things as yet. And that is the cause for science. It's not because we don't know it completely, but it's because the ego don't know it as yet, as an experience. The ego has not yet gone out into space. No one knows what the ego going to do when the ego get to go out in certain realms and make a physical sense out of it.
So, we know that the ego now, even
the younger one, man, he's so young. He's like
I don't like me personally. Like I know that they say, well, me personally is not really some like proper English, but I just say like me personally, right? Like I don't really ascribe to or subscribe to that whole theory of ego and super ego. That them Freud fellas, you know, them Freud principles and them different type of things there when it comes to the. I mean, in speaking English, it can relate to that kind of you know, that arrogant self, or that kind of that lustful or just that kind of you know, manly or womanly animalistic aspect where you just want to hold on to me, not I, you know, but me, but these people and the ego and the super ego. And then when I really sit down, and that's a different program by itself, when I really sit down and look at what Freud and because remember all these people are eugenic. I people who believe in eugenics. They believe in survival of the fittest. You know, they believe, well, that some people there to survive. They don't believe, well, if your brother, we could give them a strength. You know, a lot of them, man, they believe, well, if the man is dying, just let him die. Oh, let him die. Well, and then just wait, let him die. You know, so they won't say, well, the man cold, I'll give the man some hit. You know, even when with all these diseases, you know, maybe in that space, when all the diseases like was Zika, and then we had, and they blame the mosquitoes for that, you know, man. The mosquitoes, they blame for that, you know. Imagine a man blaming a mosquito for that, right? Mosquitoes have always been there. And just recently, you know, they released up to 10 million 10 million different varieties of genetically modified mosquitoes in the Florida Keys. Just recently that they create them in a lab, and they say, well, to actually destroy dengue fever, they create some type of male mosquito that when it breeds with the female, it's going to make it like some kind of stupidness. These people, I would say, what kind of Frankenstein thing these people are up to, man? Right? And when the Zika and all them things actually came, they had Zika. What you say that one, Empress? They had Zika and they had chikungunya, yeah. Chikungunya, man. That's well, we mash it up because for us we had the answer, right? The answer. None of my clients, I had a lot of magistrates, and none of my clients who was on the answer never get them things there. I telling you, my lord, like real thing, because
yeah, I was just late with the answer then, man. I get the answer.
the early one. This is better late than never.
Man, come here, tell you, I don't go without the answer for right. See, never, ever without the answer, man. It's a very beautiful thing that I met, man. Give thanks.
Man. Give thanks for that, man. And I remember my brethren, because a magistrate in Dominica, man, and the man called me and he just couldn't believe it, man. Everybody around him is falling down with the chikungunya, man. And then, Chris, I'm not getting it, man. I'm not getting it. Like he himself, like he's surprised that as if he's my brethren, you know, the same way like in our network, Dominica, have this lawyer brethren that have Nasty Fontaine there, right? But he couldn't believe that everyone around him falling with the disease, but he not falling with the disease, right? So sometimes we believe in things, you know, even as a healer in my journey, right? There are many times that you know, people make you doubt yourself, you know that, right? You know, people literally. I remember a time there was this brother who the man is dying with kidney problems, and then because of what people saying, because as a herbalist, you know, remember I went to medical school and I chose herbs, you know, and I was a scholar. I was somebody who was on scholarship. I chose to go on herbs. Right now, when it is that people now start to spread propaganda about, oh boy, that man giving herbs that kill people, you know, you come to a point in your inner self that you're going to say, well, you see me? I don't need them people there, you know. Right? I don't need them people to a point. Yeah, I'm telling you seriously, whereby a brethren came and he's dying with the doctor. He came and the doctor told him, well, if he did not go on dialysis, he'd have died. He came on the Friday, that he'd have died on the Sunday. Right? And remember that, Empress, right? And then, remember? Okay, all right. So then, I had to speak with my daddy. You don't speak with the Empress and say, well, you know, because as long as the Empress agree with me, I don't really care what anybody else say. You understand? So she said, well, Priest, you know, you can't allow people to prevent you from doing your work. People will always say what they have to say. Okay, well, anyway, we took him on, and then he leave past Sunday, you know, and he's still alive today, right? So I'm just saying that to say, well, there are times on the journey where in all the truth that you know, in everything that is within you, in everything that you have seen, right? That level of doubt that's just coming and say, well, look, like, what happened to these people there, man? What are they thinking, man? I don't need that, man. Right? And then an angel would come and say, why is he a priest? And then someone will call from Praise, but give thanks, man. Give thanks, man. Because as a healer, people, you doesn't really get people calling you about like good news. So I never get a brethren call and say, why say my Lord, give thanks, honorable, just heal in the air, man. Everything blessed, I good. The family go say, boy, praise boy, boy, and you understand. So okay, in what I do in my craft, I had to basically just blank out a lot of different things, because I used to see people every time I have a consultation, I see somebody for a whole hour. An hour and a half, you sit down in the office. If one person, they cry and thing and then they feel better. And I say, but wait. But what's my purpose? Am I following my intelligence, right? Or am I following my heart? Because as you say, you have your God self, that intelligence aspect of you, and yet still you have your emotions. So because of you are so soft-hearted and your nature is that, people would want to spend a whole hour and a half with you, but the intelligence supposed to tell you that to get that person well as soon as possible. So at least, so if you could do that in 10 minutes, please say, well, yeah, man, you go do them, man, they're gone. It's better for you, right? But then there's that part of you that make you feel like guilty that you don't spend time with the people. You just like them other people, when the aim of the whole vibe is to what? To get results. So if it is that someone could spend 5 minutes with you, and as they sit down in front of you, as they sit down in front of you, well, that's what I am now. I'm the kind of man, you sit down in front of me and I see everything. All right, and I say, I might listen to you just because I have to listen to you. All right? And sometimes just to make you feel good. I don't examine people, I don't touch up people. And I don't do these things there. Right? I understand the science good enough. And if you speak to me, I could tell you, well, that is that, this is it, and use that. Now, as long as you take that, you heal already, you're good. You just go home and do your thing and you're good. But some people want more than that, and I don't have that to offer, especially like these days there. I don't really have that to offer. What I could offer people is that 10, 15 minutes of my time, and that's a lot of time. A lot of time. 10, 15 minutes, a lot of time. And so I just want to give thanks for your time tonight, because people they really understand the value of that time. It's almost a whole hour. And then I know the lines are open for the St. Lucian people, 451-9349 and 453-1730. I don't know what will happen when we get a call, if I'm going to be notified, because normally when I'm in studio, I just hate live because of Corona. I can stay home, man. I give thanks for Corona, There's a caller there. Bless.
Hello?
Yes, caller. Bless.
Bless.
I just wanted to just commend you on the excellent work that you're doing, sharing this knowledge that I think is very vital to our society right now, especially with all the ailments that St. Lucians are plagued with, and they're just simply due to the lifestyle choices that we make on a daily basis. So most respect to you, and just keep on doing what you out here, just sharing the knowledge. And I would also like to shout out Chronixx. Just a pity that I've joined
Bless.
15 minutes ago. I recently saw the post on Instagram. Two of my bedrooms, and I wish you all your upcoming future endeavors.
Big respect and love. Yo, Mr. Henry, I think you need to turn down your speaker again. For us.
You're in the echo. Yes, Brother Ronald, you're the echo. Well, I will give thanks. Anything that as I would just give the other stage, and that you're the man there, the man of the hour and a half. I'll give you the stage and just tell the people in St. Lucia what flow through your heart. If there is anything specifically that I would just like to share with us. Just feel free, my Lord. This is Rastafari, tell truth, vision. I'm not telling no lies. You know, so just tell the truth. Blessed.
Yeah. Well, you don't know, one of the things that, you know, I now within my family especially, I've been trying to be more of a, we want to be more of people who can farm for ourselves through, through meditation and through loving yourself and through researching as well, and understanding science. We can really form a very true concept of human history within ourselves. And I feel like this is one of the most important things that we should be trying to forge for ourselves at this time. Like, how did you arrive at this point in time? You know what I mean? Truthfully, not according to what, Yes, sir.
Pardon me. They have a caller there calling from New York, so let's just give them a little thing there, some before they credit done, and you know how it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, caller, bless. Blessed. Yeah, blessed, honorable.
Yes, sir, honorable.
You are listening to your TV or to your internet, so you have to turn off your internet, turn off whatever you're listening to and listen via the telephone, so we could hear you clearly. Yeah, and just speak through the telephone, don't listen to the TV and try and speak to the telephone. Yeah, but a bit louder, please. You hear him, honorable?
Yes, sir. I hear him.
Yeah, go through then.
Big respect.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah. That's enough. No. Oh, okay.
Respect, honorable.
Respect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, just bless the one. Yeah, just divide it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a guitar he trying to play for the eye, or I cannot hear it too well, but
Oh, that's nice.
oh, give thanks for the love, man. Give thanks, beloved, for the love of give thanks. You have another caller there, blessed.
Greetings in the name of the Most High. Kedamawi. Yo, this is for Chronixx. I just want the eye to know that the youth out in Atlanta are upholding the order of Rastafari, and we love for you to come forward and just
Like.
Down there cut off.
Yo, Atlanta. Big
Well,
up
I mean,
Yo,
I
Atlanta
think
is one of my favorite places in America, because the consciousness that exists in Atlanta is a very progressive consciousness, and the way I see the African community come together in Atlanta, it was always a beautiful thing, and they were one of the forerunners as well in the world in like setting up a certain African organization with business, even in the music business. Atlanta was always forerunners especially in the West, when it comes to setting up music business and cultural business for African people. So that's one thing I did enjoy with being in Atlanta. So shout out to Atlanta and that caller. Yeah, big respect.
love, man. There were Benjamin was asking one Benjamin, the elder, what was that experience? They just wanted to know because you said you went to Costa Rica and then you had that experience with one Benjamin. But before you answer that one there, we have another caller. Let's give the caller, then we could just read that one there out. Yes, caller, blessed.
I'm calling from France. I'm originally from Brooklyn. But I wanted to say to Chronixx, thank you so much for speaking about us having our own land and growing our own food and taking care of ourselves in this way. This is something that I've been working on for the last several years, and now I'm trying to build it again here in this new country. So I think it's so important for our people to put our health in our own hands. Thank you to the Honorable Kailash too for passing on his knowledge through healing and herbs and stuff like that. I think that stuff is so important. So blessings and love to you both. Thank you for putting this message out, especially about us farming, especially in Jamaica. That land, our land is so beautiful. It's so full of everything we need is there for healing and nourishing ourselves. So I send you guys love and blessings to get this work done and continue spreading this good word. Thank you.
Respect. Love.
You want to answer that other question one time, my lord, about your experience with Aki Baker? We have some other questions there. So if you just answer that one there, we have about another 5 more minutes before we close. So let us just hear what I would have to say about that one there first, please.
Yeah, well, when I met Von Benjamin first time in Costa Rica, that was a very, I would say, life-changing experience, because I didn't just meet him, but in the same instance, or within that same time, I watched the Midnite perform, and this was one of Midnite's last performances before we had the transition into Aki Baker. So this was Von Benjamin and Ron Benjamin and most of the Midnite people. And it was just a very energizing situation. A lot of time music is really good. Nowadays, music is really good at making you feel excited. But you have a long-lasting energy that can be received through certain type of music. And just watching Van Benjamin and the courage that he was saying, what he was saying with Kai, was saying it from the depths of himself, rather than just saying things for a fact or for a scientific fact alone. So he was a very factual and historical and scientific type of revealer, because he was revealing history as well. But he was also revealing certain consciousness from the depths of himself, and his music reflected this. And then when as a youth, the first thing with Van Benjamin, so he was traveling with Midnite. I think I don't remember where they were coming from, but he was dressed in this really nice West African garment, and how it was just a majestic thing for I and I to see, Van Benjamin. So I was like, I was telling him how majestic the shirt is, like, I could remember everything from how them smell, everything, and just a very majestic person, and it's just similar to when the first time I saw a Pride of Lions, It's like for the first time in my life when I saw a Pride of Lion in them natural habitat, it was a similar feeling like meeting Von Benjamin. Like, you see a natural person, like someone in them full, who reach, not a lot of people get to reach to that thing where, you have this courage about you and this thing. So instantly, I was like, Von Benjamin, first of all, nice to meet you, Elder. I love your shirt, I love your music, I love everything. And he just like, take off him shirt, man, and give me the shirt. And I was like, keep this. And say, and I'm going to show you the shirt, man, right now.
Well, he went for the shirt to show us the shirt, Honorable. I know we have another caller, so we could put the caller on in the meantime. So when he comes forward,
and this is just one of them, man. I got this shirt from Van Benjamin.
Give thanks, man. Majestic for true, man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's like the embroidery and his
man. Earth tone.
He got it in Senegal, and he gave me that shirt as a gift, and then straight away, you don't know from this going to Bible, you know, because he's a very biblical person, and he's someone who revealed the secrets of language to you, because he felt that it was important that us as younger artists knew the secrets of language and how to really have a different type of relationship with words, regardless of which language, or if it's like the more Roman languages or the more. So he break it down kind of in a similar way how Sizzla Kalonji would break it down and show you the Hebrew language and the Gaze language and the Amharic and the Arabic language, and him show you it all as one language, him reveal it as one language. Van Benjamin did the same thing, but in a more structured type of way, where after him teach you, you could go and teach someone else type of thing. And him show you like the secrets of the words and the numerology and the identity of letters and the identity of numbers beyond them just being mysterious symbols, you know. And for someone to do all of that within like a 30-minute reasoning, it was just like, you know what I mean? Normally when I reason with a Rasta man, it's a fiery reasoning about, yo, fire upon this and fire upon that and ray. So for the first time I was meeting a type of person who was showing me human history. I was showing me that, yo, regardless of how you feel about things in this sensory world, this is how it is. Some things are nice, some things are not so nice, but it's so it go, you know? And so all of that. And then I met Van Benjamin, and next time now I was on tour in Europe, and we were performing the same night at a show. And our tour buses were parked right next to each other, and them come over our tour bus and like all the light them lock off, you know, the tour bus, and like every man just start like chalice, and like the man just like make everyone go on them cell phones. And the man was like, everyone take out in the cell phone and get in the Bible app. And like from that day, I always had the Bible app. From that day, I always have a Bible app on every single device. The man's like, always have the Bible app, you know. So him just start showing everything, like how him show with Jamaica in the Bible. Enough people can show you which part of the Bible Jamaica and St. Lucia. Like them man, they show you St. Lucia and St. Croix and all that we in the Bible. And him literally show it for a fact in the pages of Genesis, one page at a time. And it's like, it almost like through the chalice and the reasoning, it slowed down time so much that within 2-3 hours of reasoning, you learn millions of
a lifetime of things.
Yes,
man. We have two callers there who've been holding on. Let's just hear what they have to tell the eye before we see. Like, yes, caller, blessed.
Blessed, Honorable.
Blessed.
Is it me or somebody else?
It's you. Yeah, go ahead. Listening to you, Honorable.
Oh, blessed, Honorable. Give thanks. Give thanks for the interesting program going through tonight. Give thanks. No, I remember listening to you earlier on Chris Kailash. I think there's my hair. I remember and give thanks. And you were saying about we really have to stay and raise our consciousness, that we stay and we move away from the traditional or the normal questions of diet and food and things. So I give thanks for the reasoning there tonight. You're from the Prophet Shema. Prophet Shema, blessed, love, honorable. Give thanks.
Rastafari.
Heart love. Yes, and it's so interesting that you highlighted when you got the Zika, and you know, like a normal person going about their day-to-day runnings wouldn't really stay and be aware of it and everything, but you were just so conscious when you said how it hit you.
And then I just sitting there for a little green sesame, she was saying, but how? Because she didn't even feel so much and everything. So I said to her that there are some persons, like for myself, if I stay and I get a little cut, right? I will stay and feel the nerves. I would stay and feel the blood pulses and feel every nerve all the way down to my toes. That's how much it hurts. A simple cut on my finger, you know. That's how much it hurts just because of the awareness and the consciousness of what is happening in the physical structure. So give thanks to and sharing that. And the reason is definitely high tonight. You know, I give thanks for that. So,
Give thanks, Honorable Empress Desma. Give thanks. She's the Empress that give the ID cream and thing, priest. Honorable. My Lord. Yeah. Remember when you came from the sulfur spring and you know? Yeah.
I love it. Give thanks, man, for all them creams. Them things is some very beautiful creations, man. It's like an artwork, you know, spiritual artwork, natural artwork. And it really is a blessing to our generation to still have that, man. Because we are now like remnants of it to now go and plant a new seed of it in the world. Because in many places, it is almost non-existent in many places, you know, and amongst many peoples and traditions, certain things last. So if you see young people getting into the craft of organizing nature, curating nature in such a way that they can maintain health and maintain the balance, you know, these things are very important things, man. These things people, yeah, I will never. This is one of the things where I stress, man, right throughout life, man. But I make sure a lot of emphasis get placed on that, no matter what the platform is. You know, we need more of them type of craft. Yeah, we love to see people getting into tech, and we love to see all the youth them getting into the more digital aspects of creation. You know, but we love to see the alchemists them march out in a nature and shed light on some of the things there. All of, and especially when them young. You know what I mean? Like the Honorable Prophet is a very young, you know what I mean? He's a very young, but know a lot of your patients, there might be people very older than you, you know?
A lot more. Yeah, but I mean, I think you have a caller from Atlanta who's been holding on. Your place, Atlanta, your place. Yes, Atlanta caller, blessed.
Yeah, this is Ratty K calling forward again. I just wanted to speak to Chronixx. We got disconnected. As a musician, sometimes you don't get to really witness like the results that you have on people. And I just wanted to add to take time when you have time and look up Love Militia, LUV Militia, and know that you are the biggest inspiration to my brother and I when it comes to upholding like a standard of delivery and of like representation of the Most High. So you could reflect and look at all that we've done and know that you have been our biggest influence. You feel me? And of course, Rastafari and the Most High. But we some youths out here in Atlanta, like really in the streets, and in Fort Lauderdale, are really in the streets, and the people that know the I. And it's just like I want you to look at us and feel proud and know that you're like the biggest inspiration. Because like from when you release Roots and Chalice, that's when we realized, like it could be done without cursing. And we just had to go back to the drawing boards and look deeper within ourselves. So it's just a joy to be able to send like my voice to you in real time. And I just wanted to add and know like I'm thankful for you, bro. I'm thankful for your existence. And I'm thankful for like the blessing the Most High has put on your life, because like we all just fruits of refugees, and like we're fruit that's growing as a result of like some sound vibration that came from over there. And it's just a joy to be able to like let you know this, you feel me? So love and strength, King, and big up on your youth and your family. And we just like, I'm just happy that I get to like, you feel me? I'm looking at the screen and I know you're hearing my voice, and I know you won't forget this. So like when we do meet, you feel me? We're already best friends, bro. I love you. You feel me?
Respect,
Strength
man.
and honor, King.
Rastafari, art of love. Art of love. Respect. Yo, respect to all the musicians in America. The American musician shape human culture in this era of human life, you know. The American musician never will be able to fathom the power we him carry, because you don't know. It's a very high power the American musician was gifted with, you know. And the African musician of America, you know. So I always have to show a certain type of love and solidarity and a certain respect and gratitude for the African American artist, because him helped to guide humanity through a very tough time, you know. And help you to understand certain emotional things and create certain sounds where those sounds will be carrying us for a very long time. You know, and I consider all of us over here living in the Caribbean and America and Brazil and them place. We are the American, the African who were brought to the American side. And our music that we now come inherit is a direct gift from the Almighty. In every respect. There is, you know, Van Benjamin is one of the people that reveal these things to us. That the sounds that come to us through inspiration is, you know, when you look at the blues, when you look at Naya Bingi, when you listen to the music from Brazil, when you listen to the music from Cuba, when you listen to the music from Jamaica alone, like, you know what I mean, just Jamaica as one island. And if you listen to Cuba as one place, as Cuba alone, man, the music, that's the music that shaped the world. You know, when you talk about a music that all the world partake in, regardless of culture, this is the only music. The music, because we had to overcome through the will of the Almighty. We had to overcome tribalism, and we were mixed in such a way, and we had such a life experience that our brains developed to a point where we could receive certain musical impulse that no one else in the world could receive, you know. And so we end up with certain type that they say in reggae music, they say the wicked carry us away captivity, you know. And after they carry us away captivity, one of the first things they did was require from us a song. You know, and they said, sing a song for us. And where original people was like, how can you ask us to sing a song? You know, after you carry us, come here, so the song come from the land. You know, the song come from Zion. So if you take us out of Zion, how we gonna sing this song? You know? So
Are you still singing?
That was the main thing that the African American had to figure out. What is this song we're gonna sing? You know? And the African American make them type of music. We make music that can, even the oppressor can be saved by just listening to this type of music. Soothe them spirit, soften them hardened self, and let in more light, you know. Soften them and let in more light. And that light we're letting it break down, it help other races to overcome certain things where them couldn't overcome on them own, or where them couldn't overcome without this type of music and culture. So as the youth are saying from Atlanta, every time I travel to America and like Brazil and these places, I've never been to Brazil, but South America, you know, Costa Rica, Panama, all these places, I always reflect upon how beautiful the music is, you know, and the impact that it had on people, you know, the amount of oral history that can only be found in the music. It's like preserving things that, you know, all the other means of knowing these things have been destroyed except for in the music. So it's like, I really have a special love for this music, you know. So big up to all the who find themselves a part of that love as well. So if you partake in that same type of love, knowing that this thing is, there's no nuclear powerful than this thing. I tell you, or no spaceship, whatever. You know.
Yeah, man. I think we have one more caller. I think we'll take the final call before we seal her. Yes, final caller, blessed. Blessed love. Seem like they speak it. Huh? Or they gone. Okay, all right. Well, that final caller did find all for true. Definitely we give thanks for all those people who will be with us on YouTube. I mean, we have a lot of comments and questions, lots of love from the IFAM all around the globe. But I mean, I don't think I could read every comment that's on the phone. So just know that the is a man that is well loved, and give thanks for that spirit of love that is traversing through the globe. Any message that, especially to my people in St. Lucia, this is like a national broadcast, even if people see it overseas, you know, any special message that I have for my people in St. Lucia. And then, you know, when is it that we're going to be seeing you again? And I hope that when you come, the other time is that I could spend a little more time, because remember when we came, we had to go to the college and pass there, and the youth and them couldn't believe that that's Chronixx. No, nobody believe. I mean, you know, sometimes the man's so powerful that same thing with Christ, you know, when Christ comes, they never believe it was Christ. They believe it's somebody, you know, so they crucified the man. So when are you going to be coming to St. Lucia again to spend a little more and sit down and burn some steam pipe? We didn't even talk about the steamers and why steamer, because the eye is only steamer, the eye does
programs, man. We need programs.
Right, thanks.
We need more podcasts and them thing there now, where we can really get record certain thing high quality and stream it right through, you know. Because as I said, these things, as a youth, I really appreciate these things, you know what I mean? And I know some other youth who love these type of reasoning and the straight reasoning. You know, cause enough reasoning got that side there and that side there, and, you know, but you see the straight reasoning, that is what most you thirsting and hunger for right now. A straight, you can provide for them the tools that them need to forge a certain image of themselves that is other than this thing where you know, you just like this thing that's supposed to fade away, you know, and wither away and struggle without a consciousness and a cause, you know. So we know that for everything that we struggle, we're supposed to be aware of the cause, because that is what fulfills the struggle, you know, when you have the awareness of the cause. So we need for reason, man, more and more and more every time, man. I don't really have any plan traveling. I haven't been planning any traveling because, you know, I spent 7 years of my life planning travels and traveling. Life was mainly consisted of travel. Because, you know, traveling in a large group a lot of times, as I travel most of the times, it requires a lot of planning. And as an independent artist, a lot of time, you know, most of the time, that planning. A lot of that planning take place in-house. Not even financially, it's not a burden financially, because, you know, you're running a sustainable thing that's sustaining itself for the most part, you know. But what it really did take a lot of planning. So I've been taking a break from the tour logistics and the traveling logistics, because you don't know, for I and my family, we see this as an opportunity for us to take some time and just learn myself and get some quality family. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, for me, that was like, because
we sacrifice a lot of that sometimes, you know, to make sure that
that's very important, man. Because I remember that time when I used to be traveling like every month, 2, 3 to 4 times, like every month, 2, 3, 4 times, and then I remember the first time the Empress said, well, Prince, yeah, I cannot, okay, like when I used to go to Europe, I used to stay like 2 weeks, right? Then she said, well, no more traveling past 7 days, right? You have to come in before Sabbath. So if I leave, I have to come in before Sabbath. So then it came down to 3 days, you know? And then even to when things were, even when things got so organized whereby it could have been 2 days, you know, and then our ultimate goal was that, as you said, to carry on a sustainable enterprise without the need to travel, don't sacrifice the family, because people doesn't really understand that when you have children, every time that I have to go on a plane,
we need to express more of them concepts, because those things are concepts that we can use to replace the concept of always having to sacrifice. I remember one time, when I was just starting to do music professionally, and the internet, this was when the internet just came about. I have a brethren called Gappy Ranks from England, who he make a tweet one day, say, yo, message to all young artists. If you're gonna come into music, be prepared to sacrifice one of the most valuable things, which is time with your family. And I'm like, from that very moment, I'm like, but it don't have to be like that, you know. From that moment, you know, from the moment I look at it, my spirit just feel like it never submerge into me as truth, because there's so much other things I know that go against the fact that you have to do that. So I couldn't accept it as a fact that this is something that you must sacrifice to be a successful recording artist or even a successful performing artist. Because just like how you travel to see people, people travel to see you as
you. Yeah, man.
You find that it's just however you curate the experience. And you know, even marketing. If we're gonna have marketing as a concept, let's use it in its full power. Because marketing is a thing that you can use to what you call it, that type of word, propagate all different type of consciousness and all different type of behavior, you know, within people. And so we need to look into music. So that's one of the things I've been looking into a lot, like the framework and the concept with which I navigate the music space and share my music with people. And, you know, I like to say music space, because it's not even my music as such, you know. You find that even these things influence how I would want to flex as an artist and how I would like to travel, how I would like to, you know. It don't have to be so detrimental for the families of the artists and the talent, the talents that the music industry revolve around. They are the people who have to sacrifice their families first all the times. And it's just something that, for me, not sustainable. And I don't want, moving on, you can't move on in this time now, hoping that you can do something sustainable. That is not sustainable, you know. So certain things I will never say, oh, continue as a thing. Like certain styles of touring and them things. It don't make no sense. And that's just a past chapter for a lot of artists, not just for myself, but for any progressive artist. That's a past chapter, you know.
Well, I remember that what I said is that I am going to create a space whereby I am comfortable in. And after I create that space, people have to go and see me in that space. You know, so that's why I create one Kailash Rejuvenation Center. And I say, but anytime, if you have to make me leave this country, man, well, you have to be able to afford, you know, I have a big family. I have my Empress and 7 children. You understand? So that means that you'd have to be able to afford to shift everyone, right? And shift everything that we need. You understand? And give us a real comfortable place that's all natural, or else, you know, we create that space, right? So come and manifest in that space. And to tell you the truth, I give thanks for coronavirus, you know, man. Yeah. Coronavirus actually
give thanks for everything, man.
Yeah, man. It really allowed people, you know, I was already working towards that level of inwardness, whereby everything that I need is right there, like right here, and just move around the place and right there. That it actually forced that to actually manifest even more, you know, and it brought that out whereby, you know, even if I only used to travel probably then once every other month or everything, it just came down to no travel, you know, and because of that now, that creativity inside of you to make things happen had to just step up and just make it happen, you know. So as Rastafari, remember as a business, right? I'm gonna share that with the eye. As a Rastafari entrepreneur, because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a man that believe in the economics aspect of things and making money, like a lot of money. And as a business, we used to pay our female staff, you know. We still do it. Like when they have the cycle, the menstrual cycle, we used to allow them to take that 7 day off and pay them the 7 days. You know, we still do it now, right? And we did that knowing that, okay, you could 7 days you menstruating and thing, or you on your journey, take a time out for yourself and we pay you one thing. And when you come forward with a sense of creativity and everything, and, you know, add more value to the business. And you know that right now that the world found it so difficult to tell a woman she can work from home. Right? When coronavirus now make every woman work from home. You understand? So everybody can work from home as much as you can. So all the years that they were telling the black woman and the white woman and the Indian and the Chinese woman that no matter what, you have to stay free. And then you still have to be confident, you know? Now they're telling them that they can stay home, right? And manage big enterprise. What Von Benjamin said? Like he said, well, woman, you know, run a table, micromanaging economies that are gigantic. You know, so that's the level that we are right now, whereby we as a people, we are more inward into self. And I want just to give thanks for that divine opportunity that we could have shared this space. I am in the mountains here in St. Lucia, and the eye is in your mountain over there in Jamaica. Give thanks for taking that time out, Honorable, to be with us and to bless the audience, all the people that have been watching us tonight. And you have lots of people sending their love and their blessings, you know, and then, you know, just give thanks for that moment. And I really appreciate of it. And I just pray the Haile Selassie speed, you know, in all the eye works and all the eye is doing, and Empress men and could, you know, the feminine energy, because the human, as I tell every man, the human essence is a very important essence. The woman, the feminine essence, your plans into, as I witnessed in my own life, that without an empress, you know, all the beautiful plans that you have will never come into fruition unless you and your woman will actually agree on it, you know. So give thanks for the feminine aspect of the eye, Honorable Empress Kelisha, you know, and Kelisa, you know. So we give thanks for her and tell her big up that big tune she dropped on the local rhythm. It's the most terrible one there, you know.
Every single time.
Bless up the Honorable Princess Sedway, you know. As I know, probably it is a secret to the world, but I know you have a beautiful princess. You know, my princess name is Kayana, and yours name is also very close to that name also. So we give thanks and all love and blessings to the and your family. I don't know if you can just say anything, any words to the people before the eye forward.
Yeah, man, we just want to say more love to the people, you know. Continue to love yourselves and to, you know, rediscover love through yourself as well. You know, try to read and study and meditate, reason with the ones that you love, and form a concept of the history of human life, you know, and how that we are here, because that will help us to move forward. so we can know the cause for which we are here in this time. They don't know. So I want to say to the youth, them say, yo, just want to keep on the team conscious and upful, because that's the real winning, you know? And that's the real victory, you know. Is to be able to remain upful and conscious and confident within the fact that Jah love shine the brightest, you know, and it will always be victorious throughout the universe, throughout history and every epoch of human life. You don't know, no matter how far the story take you, there's a light. We're always victorious in leading us out of certain vibes and into a more prosperous, prosperous part of our existence and evolution. God never done. Give thanks. Heart of love.
Well, give thanks, honorable, again, and give thanks for Kailash.
Express and to all the 7 youth them, all the 7 them, and you have some of the most beautiful youth I have ever met. So don't give thanks for that already, and I give thanks again, you know, for all them youth and just for the light that them carry, you know, and the light within their family. And the Mount Kailash Rejuvenation Center, you know, is a very beautiful place. In fact, you know, as for a fact, it is a very beautiful place in every aspect, both from the colors and the smells and the aura of the whole place, you know. So we give thanks for the I and I family and I works, seeing every time.
Give thanks again, honorable, and give thanks for the staff of your technical people, your manager, and all these people who got this thing they put together. Give thanks also for Alex, you know, and give thanks for the Calabash studio. That's the TV station down here in St. Lucia that organized everything. You know, as we say, it's from lowlands to highlands. I pray next time everything would be smoother and nice and better. You know, from lowlands to highlands. Give thanks again, honorable, and all love and prosperity, peace divine. And may the almighty light, you know, of our divine emperor shine upon the holy and the unholy and the godly and the ungodly, the same as the rain do fall on the house of the just and the unjust. Give thanks and have a blessed night. Love, blessed love, honorable.
Respect. Rastafari.
Blessed.